Alright, so we're gonna see Ilanav and Renok get pre-banned here. So he goes Peyra. Of course, I will take Arunka if it's open.
Someone needs to be made an example of.
And I want to pick something neutral. I'm kind of thinking maybe picking like Tenebria to force him to play a little bit more reactive into me. I'm gonna go on a tank POV Tenebria this time. I'm gonna try it out since we did build a second Tenebria. It's gonna be a little bit whale, I'm not gonna lie. But we have a slow one on POV, and then we have one that's a little bit like this one's a faster one. So ARAM Lethe, what the hell? Okay, that's crazy. That's genuinely crazy. All right, here we go. We're gonna go Amid. We're gonna go full cleave here. We're just gonna go Amid, and we're gonna go Hua Yang. Right, I'm not scared of Lethe's speed. I'm not scared of ARAM resetting. Right, I am if I'm playing turn 2, but because he's picking some characters that are typically slower than Amid. I'm just gonna try to outspeed with my gear and try to kill him. This game might not be super relatable, but Luna, we don't care. All right, we don't care about any of these units basically. These are not a non-factor in the anti-cleave setup. Sage Ball is going to be our ban, since this can obviously take 40% combat readiness and then sleep our team. Very, very annoying unit. So we are going to pick up... we can go Celine and pivot into single target damage, right? Just go Celine here.
Who are you people?
And then we just ban Sage Ball. Okay, that's fine. I think in most cases you probably release the imprint here, so Celine has more attack, right? We want to make sure Celine has enough damage on turn 1 with Nimble to just get rid of some units.
We must fight.
He's 97%, not fast enough, so we're gonna just try to overwhelm him.
What cannot be avoided must be overcome.
Okay, so we're gonna boost Celine here for Gab.
Revitalize the fallen.
Okay, we get the Gab. We're gonna soul burn onto the Luna. Should be a one-shot since she's pretty fast. There we go.
Who are you people?
And now I have a decision to make here. Do I want to S3 or do I want to S1? I think I S3.
Wandering souls.
I don't want to S1 just because I don't think I can kill ARAM or Lethe, and I could potentially miss on Peyra, right? I don't want to be in a situation where I don't have immortality and then Celine can get soul burned by Peyra and then I die, right? So I want to avoid that at all costs, so I can just play the S3 here with my Tenebria to land some useful debuffs. And we don't know if Peyra's on Sweet Miracle or on Uberius Tooth, so we'll find out in a moment, right? ARAM gets landed on, that's beautiful. So she is on Tooth, and the game is over. Alright, so we're going to see Luna and Harsetti get pre-banned by the opponent. Again, doesn't really give us a whole lot of information, but again, a common theme of this series is if we have a neutral... Okay, so I am missing an artifact, but it's fine. It's all good. But yes, pick a neutral pick a neutral unit. My bad. So he goes Fallen Cecilia Tenebria. Obviously he can play pretty aggressive here with like Zeo and stuff. So I have to be a little bit careful about that, right? I am gonna go and pick... I'm gonna go Hand Guy here, which is gonna be a good cleanser versus this.
Which of my powers would you like?
And I'm gonna go
see?
Conquer Lilius.
I'll make you taste despair.
Now obviously Hand Guy can't cleanse block, right? But Hand Guy, the good thing about Hand Guy versus the Tenebria matchup is that he gets a lot of cycling, and he has S2 that can penetrate defense, and overall gives him tempo, right? And especially if I have Sweet Miracle Conquer Lilius, if he lands block and sleep and everything on all these units, these two are always going to wake up working together, right? So he goes for Festive Ida, Green Celine, which tells me that he's playing a little bit more defensive, saying, you know what, I'm going to let you take the first turn because your Conquer Lilius is probably going to outspeed my Tenebria. That's what he's telling me, right? So in that case, I just need to pick units that can allow me to play the game by pressing the buttons through the Celine. right? So I'm thinking here I probably just go Lionheart Sturmia, right? Lionheart Sturmia, I can proc, I can just do a ton of damage and just kill, right? Additionally, Festive Ida cannot penetrate through high defense units like Lionheart, right? I have death buff, vigor, blah blah blah, right? The second unit that I'm thinking of is probably Arby, but I don't know if Arby is super good, but yeah, I'm kind of down to go Arby, not gonna lie. Arby? Yeah, fuck it, we'll go Arby.
Opponent.
Because most Selines that fight Conquer Lilius are going to be on highest attack EE. Most of the time. Most of the time. The people that make the adjustments versus the Conquer Lilius are always running the are running that EE. So let's see. Now let's confirm our suspicions. Ah, yes, our suspicions are correct.
Scar those in our way with
Alright, here we go. I'm gonna reveal the Festive Ida, unfortunately. My Arbiter Vildred is going to die. However, I do get to put an S2 out, so I can get a defense break, which I'll probably put it onto Tenebria, just because I want to get a defense. Okay, I got resisted. That's unfortunate. Let's S3, throw our damage out. Well, if she was death broken, then she would most definitely die here, but unfortunately, we did not get it, but that's okay. We'll have to work around it. You're not always going to get all the debuffs that you're looking for.
I gave you a chance.
Okay. Arunka's going to get some combat readiness here. Okay. Now, she's redirect provoked, and my Arunka is lower HP because I don't have the frickin' things on, so this is kind of not ideal. I will S2 onto the Tenebria, see if I can do enough damage. So we just straight up killed the Tenebria, that's great. Obviously he can now burn and do all of his stuff, but we'll see. Oh, he missed on RB2, that's really good for me. Okay. So Festive Ida is going to proc Shyness, do a good chunk of damage to me.
This is a formidable opponent.
RB's still alive because I have Arunka.
You feel the pain?
Maybe I get a counter from Arunka to generate some souls. We did not counter on Fort. That's fine. Let's remove skill nullifier.
All I have is the thought of me.
Yeah, let's S3. Let's cleanse off all these buffs. Get attack buff on our RB, so if my Conquer Lilius does drag, we get a really good option. Now, I'm not going to waste damage, right? There's a skill effect, there's skill nullifier here and here. If I hit Celine, it's not really worth, right? I want to break this initial barrier so that if my RB does get dragged, I'm giving myself higher odds to win this game, right? So I'm going to go ahead, hit that. We push.
Insignificant.
We S1. Hopefully hit Celine. Beautiful. That's 2 for 1, and the game's over. Beautiful.
It's only natural that I'd win.
Alright, so we're going to see Harsetti and Renok get pre-banned here. So, again, I sound like a fucking broken record. But remember, we are going with a neutral opening. We always, always, always. You pick a neutral opening, and you play from there, right? This is what you call like standard flex, right? You can play standard, tank down, you can play aggro, right? So he goes for Lomo Pera and Abyssal Euphine, which means that he is most likely on mitigation, because this Euphine is to stop any form of Amid, Lidica, Zeo, right? Because there's CR manipulation, right? So that's something that I have to be mindful of when I'm playing this draft. Now, I am going to go ahead and go Aiden here. And the reason I'm going Aiden is because obviously there's some AoE here, but I'm going to be playing Conquer Lilius on 3, right? Most of the time, if you have Arunka, you can kind of play Conquer Lilius 3 because you have that guaranteed defense in the front to protect yourself from Zeo, right? And so if he does something where he like commits to playing Zeo on 3 and stuff, then you can adjust accordingly, right? So he goes for Lua and Aram on the 3-4. Okay. Let me think. Immediately, I'm thinking Tori. Because Tori can be immune to the debuffs, right? Tori also loses to Uberius though, so that's kind of an issue for me. He has a lot of tempo, so I might just set up a Kayron game here. Additionally, he has guaranteed counter, so I might just go Lionheart. Right, I don't want to play super aggro. Like, if I go Tori, I can die to chip damage from Challenge and Uberius Soulburn. Right, if I go Kayron, I have 100% hit chance versus this. I put the game on a timer. I have some supplemental damage on these top 3. Lionheart guarantees, because if I get counter, then she activates for sure, and I can guarantee damage. Kayron is probably not good for me. So I mean, Mort's probably the ban for me here, since it shuts this down, it shuts this down. So we'll ban that. So we get the Lionheart banned. That's great. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure all my imprints are in order, and try to see if my Kayron can win the game. Ah, see Charlo again. I see.
Give all that you have.
So my Aiden is definitely not going to be able to get a turn, unfortunately, but that's not the end of the world. I need to put fluff damage, so let's just hit on the Lua here. That's perfect. Oh, he's Elvis. Oh, okay. So that's perfect, because now Lua's gonna die to a hit, right? Potentially.
I will not stand for that.
Okay.
No shame.
Payra's gonna move now. The Lua's already really low. So anytime you're playing in these matchups, you want to pay attention to their HP bars, right? So that my Kayron's going to do 15k fixed, right, at 100 Fighting Spirit. So I know that I can guarantee kill the Payra for the most part. I get the counter here, that's massive. I also hit, that's big. ARAM is 20.9k. We know that it's Elbrus Euphine, and not some kind of like holy sack shenanigans or something. So this ARAM is actually going to boost Euphine in front. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Not what I was going to expect. 19k Euphine. Okay. Big hit. A big kill there, which means he doesn't get the challenge, which is amazing for me. He still has Soulburn for Payra, which is a little bit annoying, I would say. But I do want to put some fluff damage out. So I think I'll probably put it on ARAM here. I don't really want to hit the Euphine and give him a potential counter chance, right? That just seems kind of not ideal for me. Okay. ARAM has to S1 into my front now. Okay. Euphine's gonna S1. Hopefully my Aiden counters. Beautiful. Get a free counter there. That's awesome. Soulburn's not gonna be able to kill my Aiden, I'm pretty sure, since I have Vigor. Nice. I tank it. Awesome. Obviously, a lose condition is the 20% evasion, but that's kind of a risk that I just have to live with, right? That's the winning play. So I have to just go for the S3 onto the Euphine. Right? I think some players might go for the ARAM because it's guaranteed hit, but the winning play is to get rid of this Euphine, right? Once the Euphine is out of the picture, the game is over, right? There's nothing that they can do to stop my K-Ram from winning, right? So now the game's over. Yep. Just do whatever you want. And now I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna just Soulburn this to fluff the ARAM down. And the game is over. Such ignorance. Oh my. Just let me press the button, man. Man. Alright, so we see Ilanav and Arunka pre-ban. So again, go with something neutral, right? I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Pay right here.
Be careful.
So he responds with Spirit Eye Celine and Elegos. I mean, that's very greedy, right? I'm just gonna straight up play aggro into him. I'm gonna go Flan. I'm gonna pick up the tempo, right? I'm gonna go Zeo here because Harseti's already banned. I don't need to worry about that, right? Arunka's banned, so I don't have the S3 into Arunka. this unit is not
Brace
stealth,
yourself.
right? Which means that I can ZOS3 this for sure. Now he picks Infinite Horizon Acades that's probably really high effect resistance. So now that means I need to go Blooming Lidica that has high effectiveness to counter the high ER. And then I'm going to go with Teiyu here to also cut in front and try to do some damage and kill. So we'll see how this plays out, but this should be a GG.
I'll do my best.
Holiday Euphine counters these two, so we ban that last pick, of course, and we're first pick, so we always commit to banning last pick there. See what happens here. Should be maximum safe law. Okay, so he bans the Blooming Lidica. We're gonna self imprint our Zeo. Now, one thing you want to be mindful of as well, right, is if you're looking at this draft, right, I'm currently asking myself, who do I Zeo S3, right? Not Acades, right? Because Acades potentially has really high F-res, right? I don't want a 50-50 into the Acades, right? I want to go for like a Euphine or a Celine or something like that that has lower F-res, if not zero, right? So be mindful about that when you're making decisions, right? I saw XI Hanged Man. I don't know what artifact that is, so I'm assuming that's probably ER Celine. That's kind of weird. But that means I'm just going to go on Euphine.
Be afraid, sinner.
XI Hangman, I have no idea what artifact that is. And in case it's a really high ER, I'm just going to go on the Euphine to guarantee my pushback. I'm going to Soulburn to get the defense break. This way I can kill off the Acades. We actually missed the defense break, but the winning play is just hitting into the Acades anyway because I have to kill her. So I get her out of here. Merciless Gun's going to push me in front. I'm going to S3 to boost in front. Okay. Alright. And now I'm going to throw... Oh, game's over. GG's. Alright, so we're going to see Luna reenact pre-banned from the right side. And he first picks Tenebria. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up... I'd probably stick to picking Arunca here since it's very strong.
The one who hurt my family?
I have to be a little bit careful here because I don't really know what he wants to do. Like, I don't know if he's going to play like really high like tempo and aggro me or if he's going to play slow. I have no idea. So based on that fact, and I'm second pick, I need to play a little bit differently to how I've been playing. I'm kind of scared of like a... maybe like an Amid or like a Zeo cleave coming out. Like that sounds really scary to me. So I'm gonna maybe go Hand Guy here. Since Hand Guy doesn't care about the buffs that the debuffs that Tenebria is gonna throw out. And this way I'm positioning myself where if he slows down, right, I can play like Conquer Lilius to abuse Sweet Miracle to try to combat the Tenebria, right? Since I won't care about her debuffs, and then Conk plus Hand Guy S1 together is so much combat readiness. Or I can play something like Lone Wolf Para on 3+1, right, a Firefly or something, so that I can try to play more aggressive. But it really depends on what this person picks on the 2-3, right? Remember, because we're second pick this game, we absolutely have to pick very well on the draft on the 3-4, right? Because as he's first pick, he's most likely 99% gonna ban last, right? So as second pick, you have to come up with a really strong third pick and a really strong fourth pick to put yourself in a good position to where you can fight versus his top 3, right? And then make a choice between the 2 on the bottom to choose which one you want to fight against, right? So he goes Illinab on 3 with Lionheart Ceremia, which means obviously I'm not really going to want to go Conquer Lilius here, right? That seems to be the worst possible option for me. I do want to somehow play units that don't care about the debuffs coming in, so I am going to go ahead and pick up Payra for tempo. And I'm going to go ahead and go Tori on 3 here, I think. Since on 4, Tori allows me to not care about debuffs, right? All 3 of these characters don't care about debuffs coming from Tenebria, so we eliminate this lose condition, right? Lionheart relies on counters or dual attacks. I don't have any of those, right? Then again, I'm addressing this unit. Ilanav, he stops my pen damage here, but I'm not really going to care about that, right? I'm just going to go ahead and just fight through it. And he goes Amiki and Kairon. Amiki and Kairon. I think I'm more inclined to ban Kairon over this, but... maybe Hua Young? Or Mort? Mort doesn't care about Tenebria either, right? I'll just go Mort. Mort shuts these down 1-2 together. And he doesn't care about the debuffs coming in from here. And then... I think Amiki 1v9s me though, but he has to go through Arunka. No, I'm banning Kairon. Right, he has to go through my fucking Noble Oath Arunka. So I'm gonna leave the Amiki through. If he counters me like every single hit and kills my Tori and Peyra, fuck it. It is what it is. I will accept that lose condition, right? I won't worry about that. If he just high rolls, like, there's nothing you can do, right? But Kairon can kill through my entire team, right? Or he can fight. Kairon can one-shot my Peyra, he can one-shot my Tori, and just, like, cause a lot of havoc in my day, right? And just absolutely fuck me up, so... Okay, the Rupture lands. So he goes into stealth, okay. So right now, if you're me, you need to think about what is my win condition. Who do I need to kill, right? Who do I need to kill? My main kill priority is probably Ilanav, right? I don't have any counters or duels, right? I need to try to get rid of this mitigation, right? The sooner the mitigation dies, it's gonna be way easier for me to win this game, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and save the... actually, I'll go for S2 here. Why not? S2 gives me a bit of a barrier. He's on counter set. 3F? What the fuck? Okay, that's... okay, that's... what the fuck? Okay, I was not expecting that. 3F Ilanav is interesting on counter. So I'm just gonna eliminate... I want to eliminate him anyway, because I don't want him to get Indomitable for his entire team. That puts me into Wind Rider. That's beautiful. And now I'm going to go ahead and S3 into the Lionheart Sturmia.
I'm gonna leave you biting the dust.
Okay, beautiful. We get the defense break. That is amazing. I don't really need to S3 since Tenebria still hasn't pressed her S3 yet, right? Now, there is an angle where you could look to buff stack it so that the Tenebria can't S3, which I will do because... obviously, I want to let my Tori not get debuffed, right? That's the whole point of picking Tori, right? I refresh the immunity on the Tori, so now that no matter what he does, if he S3s, I'm buff stacked on 1, I'm buff stacked on 2, I'm buff stacked on 3, I'm buff stacked on 4, right? Gives me really good odds to win this game now. I'm going to Soul Burn this because when you Soul Burn, it can't trigger a dual attack, right? And that's one lose condition I'm playing around this Lionheart. Beautiful. Get some good damage out. And in this spot, I'm actually going to S1 on the Amiki to proc her here. Why am I proccing her here, right? Amiki has to Soul Burn through a defense buff barrier Arunka, right? I don't want to let her S3 me after my defense buff falls off, right? I want to do it on this turn, right? When everybody on my team is still pretty healthy, right? And then he's going to go for the S1. I just tank it, no problem, I don't care about it. And then I'm just going to go for S1, finish this off, right? He's death broken. And I'm going to have to just go for an S1 into the Amiki. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that is horrible for me. Okay, so I got a dual attack. That sucks. That really sucks. Alright, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. It is what it is. You just gotta play through it. Tenebria S3, but I'm buff stacked, like I said earlier, so I'm holding all my spots in my line. Obviously, he has stealth here, so I'm gonna reveal him with the AoE Soul Burn. Okay, we got the defense break on the Tenebria, which is the most important. Okay, and now I'm gonna go for the S2 to finish out the Tenebria. She's out of the game now. And now Amiki has to try to break through my Arunka, which simply is just not happening. So the game's over and he's going to surrender. Alrighty, so we're gonna see Aronka Renak get pre-banned here. So again, like I said, we're picking a neutral opening. We're gonna go Barrier.
A bunch of Sunday drivers.
I sound like a broken record at this point, but again, you can pick a variety of different characters, right? You can go for Luna, Peyra, Aronka, even Ilinab if you really wanted to, right?
All I have is the
So he opts to go for Hand Guy
I will honor
and
their
Fallen
wishes.
Cecilia. So what I could do is play something like DJB, right? DJB obviously is going to give me some pretty good, damage and tempo because I'm going to be able to invert the barrier. And because there's going to be some pen damage here, I kind of want to lock my mitigation on 3. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up... Actually, I would rather have DJB on 3 to address the FCC, probably. Okay, so I'll probably go Ilinab on 2 here
Do not.
to stop the pen damage from Hand Guy, and then I'm going to go DJB on 3. Because now I'm guaranteeing a barrier inversion versus the FCC. I'm guaranteeing myself tempo so that I can, if he bans this, for example, I have this tempo, right? If he bans Ilinab, I have 1-2 tempo to take over, right? And depending on his 3-4, I have to just basically find 2 picks to address his top 4 units and then ban the last pick, right? Again, first pick, we ban last. Second pick, we try to just get as good of characters on the 3-4 as possible, like he is, to fight versus everything, right? You want to find characters here that can address 1, 2, 3, right?
I'm with you.
So he goes for Green Celine to address my non-attack skills, which is a very conditional counter. I don't love that from him. Because I have the option of picking like Flan that doesn't care about Celine. I have the option of picking like maybe like just something really tanky.
Let's begin.
Okay, so he goes for Festive Ida. So this is very simple, right? This is a very simple win. So we need to find characters that can let us take over this game that don't care about Green Celine. Okay, what are those characters? Right, you have 40 seconds to think about what are those characters that can help me accomplish this mission. Right, the first unit I think about is Spear Knight Celine.
I've got this.
Right, Spear Knight Celine is just gonna basically run over his whole team, and he won't be able to do much. The second character I'm thinking is maybe like Flan. Like, I don't hate the idea of Flan, because Flan, I get so much tempo, so I can just go like aggro Flan here, Destro Flan, either one is probably okay. So we're gonna go with our aggro Flan, because again, right, 2 units, we don't care about this, we don't care about this, right? That way, it puts us into a position where we can ban last, right? Now, if you're having trouble thinking about what are the 2 characters that can address this comp, that's a different problem, right? If you find yourself in this position where you can't think of these units on the fly, what I would most likely recommend to you is, writing down your DPS characters on a notepad, right? Or like your tanks on a notepad, or your openers on a notepad, so that you're making it a little bit easier for yourself, where you can kind of identify like what units you have available, what are built, and then by repetition, by playing more RTA games, you'll be able to kind of come to those conclusions. Right, now he goes Karina last pick, which means he's going to ban Celine, right? So we're going to ban the Karina, because Karina can beat this, right? So, or sorry, I can, the only way I can one-shot the or beat this is with Celine, right? So he's probably banning Celine here, I assume. Yep, there it is. And now we play the drafts. Make sure our imprints are in order, and go. So one thing that I need to pay attention to in the very beginning of this game is the combat readiness, right? I need to see if he's highest attack. It looks like he is on random attack EE, on the stun EE, so it could be pretty scary because he's going to push 54, so that goes to 110. I'll go to 118, so I'll be able to get the turn no matter what with the DJB. And obviously, I'm going to have Flan to provide me with tempo as well. Celine's going to move, goes onto my Ilinab, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to boost in front. I'm going to go S1 on Hand Guy to try to defense break him with Flan and Peyra. There we go. I'm going to S3 onto the Hand Guy to eliminate his cleanse. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm going to S2 with DJB to barrier invert the Celine and the Ida. Perfect. And now I'm going to go for a S. Oh, game's over. Okay, so we see Conquer Lilius and Re-Knock pre-ban. So again, we want to play neutral. For me, I'm gonna go Pera, and I'm gonna maybe play a different line here and try to go Tenebria. Actually, I don't really love the idea of Tenebria. Nah, we'll go mitigation. We'll go Yuffie in here. We will go with Abyssal Euphine. What is this person going to want to pick? Now, obviously, the Yuffie is going to be able to defend versus any form of aggression, like Amid, Litica, Zio, stuff like that, right? DJB.
I'll protect you.
DJB ARAS means he's setting up a Tori 4-5, right? He's setting up a Tori 4-5. He's setting up a Tori 4-5. Okay. But he can always pivot because he's first pick. This is a bit challenging. This is a really hard spot to play.
This is like a dream come true.
This is a really tough spot for me to play, but I'll play like this. I'm gonna go Ida because DJB is gonna be able to strip off with the barrier inversion, right? Which means I guarantee shyness. And then I'm gonna go Tenebria, which is gonna be my tank build. And because I'm on a tank build, I should be able to eat the damage, right, on POV, so I can just tank it. And that way, I force him to be a little bit reactive here, so that if he still guarantees and goes Tori, maybe I can still win it from that spot. We'll see. I don't know. So there's the Tori 4-5 that we were expecting, right? Nothing new here. I think another really good pick for me here is... I want to say Kayron, but I don't know if Kayron would be enough, you know? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Kayron would be enough. Because Kayron has fixed damage to deal with this, right?
Have you finished your assignments?
Not what I was expecting. He has no reach for Shu. I'm gonna go Shu here. Actually, I'm gonna go Strays, actually.
The time has come to blight the
So,
world with
I've
horror.
identified he picked 2 DPS here with only 1 cleansed tempo, right? So he basically has no tempo in his draft except if I ban DJB, which is kind of what I want to go for, right? Even though Ida's not going to be able to activate her shyness now, unless, like, you know, I get countered by this or something like that, at least I can get defense break and silence, right? Which could be pretty impactful. So I'm going to ban the DJB to take out his tempo. And he has to respect the Strays, right? And then I'm probably going to play it from this angle here. And, you know, I'm going to have 40 souls coming into the game. Oh, sorry, no, 20 souls, I guess. I have my Pera chip that can maybe, like, kill with the barriers and stuff like that. So, barrier inversion also gets protected, so... So, let's see, S3... Okay. So I don't really want a soul burn here, I think. I don't think it's that worth.
Dare show your face?
Can break barriers on ARAS. That's 1 less buff to strip. No, I will burn it. I'm gonna burn it so I can break the barrier off of Ras because he's mitigation, right? He's on Aureus transfer. That way it's 1 less buff for my debuffers to strip off. I'm gonna go S3 here.
Just wait and see.
Got resisted, unfortunately.
Again,
Very unfortunate, but I'm gonna go for S3 now.
since you came this way, I'll show you the other side of this world.
Okay.
Still,
Didn't land on Arya, but we landed on the units that we wanted to land on, so that's fine.
to escape.
Okay.
Hey,
We got
go
the...
study together?
It's very unfortunate that the rupture... It might... This is tough. I don't know. This is kind of challenging. Might have been a little bit of a misplay. Might have been a misplay, but I wanted to put Tenebria into stealth. Yeah, maybe it'll be okay. We'll see.
Here I come.
S1 here.
Really enjoy
Get more rupture damage out.
Just
Aras is slowly dying. Slowly but surely.
I prepared a gift for all of you. I hope they like it.
So now Tori's gonna be able to have Cascade. She's gonna do a lot of damage to me.
Here, I'll wrap you up.
Goes on Euphine. Does it one-shot her? Oh, that miss is
All right,
massive.
Let's do this.
That is a massive miss. The Rampage is just paying huge dividends. Absolutely huge dividends. He's not happy about that. I can tell you that much. Another miss! 3 misses in a row! 3 misses in a row! Unheard of! Oh my god! It's a disaster!
Let my guard
It's
down.
a disaster! It's a disaster! It's a disaster!
I hate the darkness.
It's a disaster!
Hides your suffering.
Sometimes you just get lucky with the RNG, man. Sometimes you just get lucky with the RNG.
What was that?
It is what it is.
Nag me again?
Soul burn for the damage. Tori's gone, and now we just play tempo.
What was that?
Oh, better. I apologize.